This is the story of 4 young musicians from Sweden who threatened Britain and America's stranglehold on popular music. They became famous for exposing their complicated love lives in brilliantly melodic modern pop songs. They are, of course, ABBA.
My mother and father used to sing songs to me when I was very little. But I think the first music that really meant something to me personally was when I first heard the skiffle music, which was when I was 11 or 12. And in fact, I started playing in a skiffle group at that time too.
God afton, jag ska be att få hälsa välkomna hit till Folkets park ikväll i Västervik och har härmed nöjet presentera Hoten and Sing.
Never go playing round, don't get out of line. Never go running round, keep me feeling fine. Kiss me hard every time, tell me that you're gonna be mine, oh mine. Don't mess around with them fools, don't mess around with them fools. Baby, those are the rules. Always be nice to me, don't you let me down. Don't be like ice to me.
Björn had already met ABBA's future manager, lyric writer Stig Andersson, who suggested the name the Hootenanny Singers, and by the mid-60s they were a successful Swedish folk act. Björn soon lost interest in folk music though, especially after meeting Benny Andersson, a member of Sweden's biggest pop group, the Hep Stars.
Don't you take me, baby, those are the rules. Baby, those are the rules. Baby, those are the rules.
I was brought up by my grandmother, and she was a good lady. She was took good care of me, and though she had to work hard to get the money to survive. But I started to sing in dance band when I was 13 years old, and after 2 years, or 1 year, I changed to a big band, and together with them I sang for 2 years. And after the split up with the big band, I started my own band, and the name of that band was Unafraid 4. I met my husband in the big band. He was playing the trombone, and we fell in love, you know. I was quite young, but I knew that I wanted to be together with him. So I got my son when I was 17 years only, and we got married when I was 18, and after 4 years I got my daughter.
Mötas någonstans under lyktors vita sken, ströva bland främmande människor, alldeles som om det bara fanns vi två. Titta i fönster och stanna och önska och le och drömma. Låtsas som inte någon ser när vi kysser varandra. Världen har blivit ny, allt under våren sky tycks som förtrollat, ty man är så gränslöst lycklig. Säg att du älskar mig, åh, vad jag älskar dig. Gå aldrig, aldrig från mig.
I started working professionally in 62, 63, I think, with a band called the Hep Stars. Then I wrote a song called Sunny Girl for the Hep Stars. I think we had a hit with that in Holland.
She's a sunny girl, a real girl, and no one can declare that she's something that I never needed, never want to care for. She's a sunny girl, a real girl.
Benny's song was an exception to the Hep Stars' usual wild R&B, which at one point put them in 3 out of the 4 top places in the Swedish chart.
She's domestic, she's property, she's slim like a reed, she's diverting, she is faithful, ain't that all you need? And I'm soaring like a feather in a world I've just created, for a very simple reason, that is one. She's mine.
I wrote my own songs. I did 6 Swedish solo LPs.
I alla visor och all poesi förälskar man sig om våren. Ett litet undantag jag ville bli, om bara nu någon förstår en. Skulle man inte, för att det är höst, följa sin innersta röst. Nu ska vi upp på den gryende kärlekens topp. Kom bara med mig och skyll inte på några om.
We all feel like we are being 5 in the group, and you know, I have also been a lyric writer for them, and I was an actor, guitar player, and I wrote my own songs back in the 50s. I was performing these in what we call the Swedish folk parks, open air theaters, and that's really how I started. I had a big hit in Holland called Rockin' Billy.
Hou je echt nog van mij, Rockin' Billy? Het is zo eenzaam op de boerderij.
We met on tour. He was in a band too, and we were touring the folk parks, places that you tour here in Sweden, play during the summer. And we just ran into each other.
And I knew that he wrote songs, and he knew that I wrote, so we just, you know, we happened to meet, and we sat down and played a little, and I think we both thought that the other guy was quite nice, you know. Maybe we could someday in the future be able to work together.
I thought they were very talented as being writers, but I never thought of them from the very beginning as being artists as well. So I promised them already back in '68 that I thought that one day they could have an international break with their songs, because they are very talented writers.
People need hope, people need loving, people need trust from a fellow man.
Benny and Bjorn were recording an album on their own with all the songs written by them. And for one song they needed a female choir. So it was very natural to ask Agneta and myself if we wanted to do that part. And so we did, and we thought it sounded very good. And then we decided maybe to try something in English. So Benny and Bjorn wrote a song with English lyrics, and the title of that one is People Need Love. And that's how it started, actually.
People need hope, people need loving.
In the summer of 1971, Bjorn married Agneta, and the church organ was played by Benny, who by now was living with Frida. They had not yet adopted the name ABBA. Agneta's daughter Linda was on the way when the quartet competed in the Swedish heats for the 1973 Eurovision Song Contest with a Benny and Bjorn song, Ring Ring.
Partly it depended on that I thought it was a new approach to the Eurovision Song Contest. It was a pop song. And I thought the Eurovision Song Contest needed something new.
Italia.
Well, Ring Ring wasn't what Europe had been waiting for, but ABBA and their manager only had to wait till the following year's contest for this new approach to pay off.
No doubt about it. The winning song of the 1974 Eurovision Song Contest, la chanson gagnante de concours de la Eurovision chanson concours. La chanson Eurovision 1974, c'est Waterloo, la Suède avec Waterloo, chantée par ABBA.
It's always repeating itself. Waterloo, I was defeated, you won the war. Waterloo, promise to love you forevermore. Waterloo, couldn't escape if I wanted to. Waterloo, knowing my fate is to be with you. Finally facing my Waterloo. My, I tried to hold you back, but you were stronger. Oh yeah, and now it seems my only chance is still another fight. So how could I ever refuse? I feel like I win when I lose. Waterloo, I was defeated, you won the war. Waterloo, promise to love you forevermore. Waterloo, couldn't escape if I wanted to. Waterloo, knowing my fate is to be with you. Finally facing my Waterloo. How could I ever refuse? I feel like I win when I lose. Waterloo, couldn't escape if I wanted to. Waterloo, knowing my fate is to be with you. Waterloo, finally facing my Waterloo. Waterloo, knowing my fate is to be with you. Waterloo, finally facing my Waterloo.
It was all thought of, you know, it was a kind of marketing. And as you know, it was a good idea, I think.
When you are in a situation like that, you have to change a lot in your life to be able to take care of what's happening to you in the right way.
It gave us a lot of work and a lot of traveling and a changing of my life to be an official, if you say that, person, a famous person.
Honey, honey, how you thrill me. Honey, honey. Honey, honey, nearly kill me. Honey, honey. I heard about you before. I wanted to know some more. And now I know what they mean. You're a love machine. Oh, you make me dizzy.
ABBA found it hard to follow the success of Waterloo, like so many Eurovision winners who disappeared soon after the contest. They re-released Ring Ring, but nothing happened until I Do, I Do, I Do, SOS and Mamma Mia, a British #1 early in '76. So what had been the problem?
That they were Swedes. I mean, the pop language is English. And of course that was a big decision to take, to just sing in English and launch them in English. That was the biggest problem we had.
When you're near me.
can't you hear me? SOS. The love you gave me, nothing else can save me. SOS. When you're gone, how can I even try to go on? When you're gone, though I try, how can I carry on? Just one look and I can hear a bell ring. One more look and I forget everything. Oh, Mamma Mia, here I go again. My, how can I resist you? Mamma Mia, does it show again? My, just how much I missed you. Yes, I've been broken hearted. Blue since the day we parted. Why?
We start off with the music. We sit down with piano and guitar and just, play along for hours and hours, for days and weeks and months. And sooner or later, eventually, there's a song there and a melody.
Because at that stage, the music, the sound of the whole thing tells you something, suggests a story. So that's where the lyrics come in, and then the vocals, and then a few more overdubs if needed, and then it's mixed down, and then it's a record.
Kan du lära dig lite mer? Kolla, hur går det? Jo, lätt. Jag kan hålla i pekfingret upp. Här, huset, så. En gång till samma grej. Sen kommer en ny grej.
Benny and Bjorn's songs, although very cleverly arranged, are built around superbly simple melodies, as they demonstrate here to the young winner of a Meet ABBA competition. This song became another British #1 in May 1976.
There was something in the air that night. The stars were bright, Fernando. They were shining there for you and me, for liberty, Fernando. Though we never thought that we could lose, there's no regret. If I had to do the same again, I would, my friend Fernando. If I had to do the same again, I would, my friend Fernando.
Now make room for ABBA and music of this day. There's absolutely no chance for gloom when they start to sing and play.
Later that year, ABBA received the supreme compliment of being the only pop group invited to appear in the gala celebrations of the wedding of King Carl Gustaf of Sweden and Sylvia Sommerlath. The song they sang, appropriately enough, was Dancing Queen.
Friday night and the lights are low.
By now, ABBA knew all about living in a rich man's world after 3 consecutive #1s, Mamma Mia, Fernando and Dancing Queen, which went on to top the American charts in early 1977. The public was becoming as fascinated with their finances as it was with their music.
Money, 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 must be funny in the rich man's world. Money, 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 always sunny in the rich man's world.
We have decided long ago to stay in this country. As you know, Sweden is the most high-taxed country in the world. And so we had to invest the money instead of just giving it away as tax. That's the way it started, the whole organization. But mainly other people are taking care of that for us. So it's not really the group ABBA making business.
It's a rich man's world.
It could be real estate, it could be bicycles, it could be oil. You mentioned it, anything, financing, leasing. We have lots of interest in all these fields.
It's a rich man's world. Knowing me, knowing you. There is nothing we can do. Knowing me, knowing you.
The Australian leg of their 1977 world tour was filmed for ABBA the Movie.
From the beginning, that was just meant to be a documentary. I mean, as we were on the road in Australia, we thought maybe we should film it, for television. For ourselves, actually, to have some documents from when we were in Australia. But it just grew bigger and bigger, and then all of a sudden there was a Panavision movie for 2 hours.
With a little storyline to it.
We had a little part in this Australian tour, and European tour in 77, I think, where we wrote a little mini musical within the show. The Girl with the Golden Hair. 2 girls playing 2 different sides of the same woman.
You're so free, that's what everybody's telling me. Yet I feel like a love bomb pushed around and make me free. Something's wrong, got a feeling that I don't belong. As if I had come from outer space, out of place, sliding wrong. I'm a marionette, just a marionette, pull the string. I'm a marionette, everybody's pet, just as long as I sing. I'm a marionette, my pirouette round and round. I'm a marionette, just a silly old clown. I'm a marionette.
Apart from America, every Western nation embraced ABBA, as did many Iron Curtain countries. One of the small permitted quotas of ABBA albums caused riots in Moscow, where ABBA the Movie was later shown.
Я видела его в ГДР, этот фильм. Я очень хотела пойти, но, к сожалению, не пошла. И когда я услышала, что идет в Москве фильм, мне сюда очень захотелось пойти. Конечно, я пошла, еще раз пойду, потому что его нельзя смотреть один раз. Это такой фильм, который можно смотреть несколько раз. А вы вообще, очень мне нравится ансамбль. Ну, когда мы узнали, что этот фильм идет, мы, конечно, сразу сюда. И давно я хотела уже посмотреть.
In 1977, a German magazine article produced Frida's first meeting with her then unknown father. Later that year, Agneta had her second child and so agreed to another world tour, though it did not happen for another 2 years.
It seems to me for every time I'm getting more open-hearted. I was an impossible case, no one ever could reach me. But I think I can see in your face there's a lot you can teach me. So I want I'm the first in line. Honey, I'm still free. Take a chance on me. If you need me, let me know. Gonna be around. If you got no place to go when you're feeling down. If you're all alone, when the pretty birds have flown, honey, I'm still free. Take a chance on me.
In the early summer of 1978, huge billboards went up on Sunset Boulevard in Los Angeles. Take a Chance on Me may have given the group another British #1, but now the focus was on a big push into the American market. The Scotti brothers, notable Hollywood star makers, were engaged, and May was declared ABBA month. The Swedish quartet were special guests on a big-budget, nationally networked TV special starring Olivia Newton-John. But still, neither Take a Chance on Me nor ABBA the album made #1 in the States, and the whole campaign fell short of its aims. ABBA have their own explanation for why one country remained unmoved by their almost universal appeal.
As the situation is in America when it starts moving there, you know, everybody moved from Holland or from England. All the band's artists, they move over to America and they work from out from there. So they are available all the time for everybody who wants them in person. And we talked about that a couple of years ago, and I don't think that any of us was really prepared to do that again after having done exactly the same thing in Europe and other parts of the world also to achieve the popularity that we have.
Benny and Frida finally married in October 1978, but by Christmas, Bjorn and Agneta had announced their divorce. Many predicted the end of the group, but ABBA proved strong enough to survive even the divorce of Benny and Frida 2 years later. This was the response when a Dutch interviewer reminded Agneta of how a recent authorised book, ABBA for the Record, had suggested that she possessed the sexiest bottom in popular music.
Yes? Where did it come from? Was it a journalist who said it?
Well, it came from a journalist. From yes, from a newspaper during we did our concert tour.
He was very fascinated of Agneta's bottom, you know. Probably it was the only thing that he
not
saw
of my as person.
It was a funny movie, but still.
It's funny how it can grow so big, I think. That makes you a bit scared.
Give me a man after midnight. Want somebody help me chase the shadows away. Give me a man after midnight. Take me through the darkness to the break of the day.
How do you choose who's going to do the lead vocals?
Just trying to be fair, you know. If we recorded 4 tracks and Agneta is singing on 3 of them, then we'll let Frida sing on the next 2 tracks, just to sort of keep it in balance.
Yeah.
It's very easy.
My favorite is The Winner Takes It All. Well, I think it's a very good song, very good melody and very good lyrics. And I think it's a whole song, if you can understand what I mean. It goes in a row, it never stops in a way, it goes together.
I don't wanna talk about things we've gone through, though it's hurting me. Now it's history. I played all my cards, and that's what you've done too. Nothing more to say, no more race to play. The winner takes it all, the loser standing small beside the victory. That's her destiny. I was in your arms, thinking I belonged there. I figured it made sense, building me a fence, building me a home, thinking I'd be strong there. But I was a fool, laying by the rules. The gods make wrong with dice, their minds as cold as ice. And someone way down here loses someone dear. The winner takes it all, the loser has to fall.
Now that both couples had separated while the group remained together, Benny's lyrics became more personal. ABBA's music seemed to thrive on the 4 individuals' emotional traumas.
Nobody knows how everything that affects you personally maybe comes out in your music, but it's impossible to pinpoint anything.
Now The Winner Takes It All or One of Us.
The lyrics are usually pretty personal nowadays, and they are the combined experiences of the 4 of us with certain changes.
And we have been working together for 10 years, so you can't avoid things happening in your life. And as they do, you change your personality as well. And it's very natural, isn't it? That happens to everybody. And just because we are a group, that doesn't mean that we can be outside a normal life.
But of course, there are a lot of things around it, you know, that can feel a bit heavy sometimes.
Interviews, you know.
Lights are gonna find me shining like the sun, smiling, having fun, feeling like a number one. Tonight the super trooper beams are gonna blind me, but I won't feel soon, like I always do. Somewhere in the crowd there's
What is the main ingredient of the ABBA music?
I don't know. Probably a strong melody line, I should say. All the time.
Björn?
Well, that and together with the girls' voices, I think.
What has been more...
The sound of ABBA is that. And together also with the backing track. It's everything together.
And what has been more instrumental in the success of ABBA? Your music or the girls' appearances?
Both. It's a combination, you know. And there's no way that you afterwards can say that this was more important than the other. But I like to think that the music comes first.
They passed me by, all of those great romances. You were a felt robbing me of my rightful chances. My picture clear, everything seems so easy. And so I dealt to the blow. One of us had to go. Now it's different, I want you to know. One of us is crying, one of us is lying in a lonely bed, staring at the ceiling, wishing she was somewhere else instead. One of us is lonely, one of us is lonely, waiting for a call. Sorry for herself, feeling stupid.
What about the question that had been on so many of their fans' minds? What did the future hold for ABBA?
So I don't know if there is anything more to achieve. I mean, how will that be? Not by selling records, not by going on the road, I think. Not by writing even better songs for ABBA. I don't know. I think it's sort of never started, never ended, you know.
I would say that what I would like to achieve with ABBA would be to make an even better album, which by our standards and by the audience's standards would be the best one.
Must have left my house at 8 because I always do. My train, I'm certain, left the station just when it was 2. I must have read the morning paper going into town, and having gotten through the editorial, no doubt I must have frowned. I must have made my desk around 9:15, with letters to be read and heaps of papers waiting to be signed. I must have gone to lunch at 12:30 or so, the usual place, the usual bunch, and still have lit my 7th cigarette at 2:30. And at the time I never even noticed I was blue. I must have kept on dragging through the business of the day, without really knowing anything. I hid a part of me away. At 5 I must have left. There's no exception to the rule. A matter of routine. I've done it ever since I finished school. A train back home again. Undoubtedly I must have read the evening paper then. Oh yes, I'm sure my life was well within its usual frame. The day before you came.
In my spare time, when I don't work, I like to travel a lot. I like to read books. I like to, in summertime, go out sailing, water skiing.
And you, Björn?
What I do in my spare time?
Yeah.
Play around with the kids, read, prowl the streets, boating in summer, lots of things. Normal things that everybody does, you know, watching video, TV.
Agneta?
The same for me. I play a lot with the kids and take long walks in the wood with my big dog.
What kind of dog?
I have a Leonberger.
A what?
It's a very big one.
I take care of my little baby and read a little, listen a lot to music, talk too much.
Did the 4 members of ABBA all see themselves staying in the music business in the coming years?
Yes, I think I have to. I don't know anything else so much. I feel very comfortable in this business, and I think I stay in it and work with what I'm doing, or maybe I will be a producer, or maybe I get into the movie world.
As you know, I recorded a solo album, and Agneta has taken part in a Swedish movie picture. So we have been working with that.
I feel personally that, well, I'm very keen on to start with something else, you know, something new, something more.
We have, in fact, had some discussions with Tim Rice in London about a possible collaboration. We don't know yet, but I hope we'll be able to write a musical soon together with him.
So I say thank you for the music, the songs I
1982 was ABBA's 10th anniversary, and they celebrated by collecting together the singles the first 10 years, their first album since Super Trooper in 1980.
She says I began to sing long before I could talk, and I've often wondered.
Since then, Agneta and Frida have both achieved some success with their renewed solo careers, while Bjorn and Benny have completed their musical with Tim Rice, based on the infamous Fischer Spassky Chess Championships in Iceland.
So I say thank you for the music, the songs I'm singing. Thanks for all the joy they're bringing. Who can live without it? I ask in all honesty. What would life be without a song or a dance? What are we? So I say thank you for the music, for giving it to me. I've been so lucky. I am the girl with golden hair. I wanna sing it out to everybody. What a joy, what a life, what a chance. Thank you.
Whether any of the four will repeat ABBA's phenomenal success away from the group remains to be seen. What is certain is that ABBA set the highest possible standards for that modern musical genre, the pop single, and for its promotion through television and video. What is equally certain is that they've never actually said that they will never work together again sometime in the future.